situation for families who indeed lived in the buildings above and to the side of these businesses. And around that chaos, which came from basically looters entering these shops, some kind of either arson or electrical fire, but ultimately there were groups of looters wandering this area of South London with masks across their faces, going in and out of shops, taking sports goods, taking clothes, taking electrical goods, plasma television screens and so on, with absolute impunity. There were groups of police, but not enough to contain the numbers of youth on the streets that I saw just a little earlier.
We heard within the last couple of hours sporadic reports of people saying that there were no signs of any police in the area in Clapham some 2 or 3 hours ago.
There were very few to begin with. There were a group of police on either side of one of the main entrance roads to Clapham as they tried to contain the violence that had happened there earlier in the day. However, by the time the large numbers of groups of people looting came along, it really was an insufficient police number. The fire began, and that's when serious numbers got here, and now the majority of this area is cordoned off, and the police appear to finally have this area under control. The other side of this police cordon, though, I'm still hearing reports of skirmishes with the police and groups of looters.
Just in terms of numbers, well, just give us an idea of how many people you think are still on the streets there at the moment, not the police, but the actual people themselves.
They have mainly been dispersed in this particular area, but I'd say at its height it was in the hundreds, groups of sort of a dozen or so teams, almost teams of youths with these masks across their faces. I've just been speaking to a local resident who says he's too frightened literally to go home. He lives above a restaurant and he's too scared because of the fact that there's alcohol and perhaps money held in the restaurant. But he's too scared to go back to his building. So although the numbers are dispersing at where I'm standing from now, I'm hearing reports that the other side of this cordon is still very, very difficult.
And just in terms of the damage, Will, we're looking at pictures shot just a few hours ago of the High Street, the main road there in Clapham, which is got some major stores on there, including Debenhams, which we can see now. That has been the focus of a lot of the smashing in of windows and the violence there. Are you getting an idea of the scale of damage to the area?
That particular area, which is where I've spent most of the evening, is extremely badly damaged. It's chaos, in fact, down that main street. It's now cordoned off, but where they had been going into Debenhams and other shops along that main stretch, there is trainers and sports goods strewn across the road, broken glass, plasma television screens, broken telephones. All the mobile telephone shops have been broken into. It is a very, very chaotic scene for this area of London.
Okay, Will, stay with us because I just want to bring an update on some news that's coming to us from a colleague, a BBC colleague, has just called in to say that a Panasonic store in West Ealing in London has been ransacked and is being looted, and is the scene of lots of people there looting the store. That's apparently happening as we speak at the moment, and you may recall that over the last 24 hours or so we have seen a lot of the electrical shops being targeted by looters in an attempt, it would seem, to get their hands on free goods, if you like. That particularly was the case in Enfield and also in Tottenham, now getting reports of that taking place in West Ealing as well as other areas too. We have been reporting this violence has spread particularly within the last few hours across the capital. There are at least some 10 areas that spring to mind that have been targeted, particularly and crucially within the last 3 or 4 hours. We're going to cross to Camden now, where the Guardian's newspaper reporter Paul Lewis is there for us. I believe we can speak to him now.